there, everybody. Welcome back to the Planes, Trains, and Comic Books channel. My name's Matt, and today we're going to review Roundhouse Hooligans #1. But before we get into that, if you guys wouldn't mind sharing, subscribing, commenting, it really helps me out and lets me know what you guys want to see more of. So, with that being said, let's get straight into it. Alright, we got the cover here for Roundhouse Hooligans #1. It is published by Freefall Comics, and it is by Keem, Kerr, Fassini, Swan, and Close. And we start off with a nice family on Thanksgiving, and just as they're about to dig in, they begin to hear some motorcycles coming in the distance. And it turns out that the dad used to be involved with some kind of motorcycle gang, and when he left, they were not happy. So they have tracked him down, and they mean to teach him a lesson. So there's a big shootout, lots of bikers get killed by the dad, but eventually, there's too many of them, and when he tells his wife to run, she ends up getting killed. And horrifically, the mother dies right in front of the children, because she was running to them. Then we cut to the eldest daughter of that family, and it is in the future. She is much older now. And it turns out she was having a dream where she was reliving the events of that horrific night. And we find out that she's been living with a guy named Duke, who's been helping her with her mission of finding her sister who was gone missing and was kidnapped from her foster home. And it turns out that today, they believe they have found out where she is. So they take their friend Samson as backup, and they head to this house, which is in a pretty rural area. And like I said, the sister has been kidnapped, so they are ready for a fight. So they kick in the door, and that's where I'm going to stop it. I don't want to spoil anything else. So I was actually asked by one of the creators of the comic if I would give it a review. And I love it when indie creators ask me for reviews, so I can help spread the word for their creative projects. I think the writing in this comic was pretty solid. It was a little clunky in some places, but the story overall was definitely engaging. By the end of the first issue, I wanted to see what happens in the second issue. And the whole setup with the family being attacked and the parents being killed is of course a good way to give the sympathy for your main character. But the creators didn't just stop there. They threw in the kidnapping of the sister on top of that, so it's even more messed up. So there's a lot of drama and tension built around those two things. And that makes it so you're quickly invested in the story, and you're really rooting that Torrance finds her little sister. Now, for me personally, the art was kind of the weakest thing. I can't pinpoint exactly what was wrong with it with me. It just didn't sit right. There were some panels that just didn't feel like the people were standing in the right ways or something like that. But I'm not an artist at all, so it's hard for me to figure out exactly why I don't like certain panels. But that being said, it does get the point across from the story. I didn't get stuck on anything or was ever unable to tell what was going on. So they were clear in that way. But for me personally, the art did its job, but didn't really do anything more for me. So overall, I did like the comic. Like I said, I wanted to continue to find out what happens in the next issue because it does leave you on a cliffhanger. But luckily, the second issue is already out, and they did send that to me as well. And it does a good job of continuing the story, keeping the action strong, and it finishes this little arc, but it keeps you going with the characters, so you want to read the next issue as well. So I think this team did a really good job of making a compelling story and telling it in a way that makes readers engage quickly and care about the characters, which to me is what you want when you're reading a self-published story. You want to get in and know exactly what's going on right away, what the motivations are for each character, and then be invested in those characters. So I'm going to give this book a 3 out of 5. Like I said, the art for me didn't quite do it, but that's a personal preference. So if you saw anything you liked, definitely check out the link down below, which links to the first issue, and you can also find the second issue on there as well. And I think there's like a bundle for like $6 right now for both. So definitely check that out if you're interested and you want to support some indie creators, and we will see you on the next one.